So those of you who have been following me a while might have come across my lovely cookbook already that my mum wrote for me, and I do cherish it. Absolutely love that her handwriting is in there, and she's still alive at the moment, but I can already see that the day will come where she might not be, and I will have her handwriting here and her favorite best recipes. So one of my mum's favorite cake recipes that is kind of our go-to at every birthday we celebrate is a lemon cake. Those of you who have been following me for a while know I am all about making cakes and sweet pleasures healthier. So we're going to bake a lemon cake, and we're going to add into that lemon cake stinging nettle and some lemon balm, which is currently in the garden growing in spring. So that's going to be nice added in there, extra nutrients. We're going to substitute the normal flour with buckwheat flour and a little bit of spelt flour. And we're going to substitute the sugar with maple syrup and agave nectar as sort of more natural options than the white processed sugar. We're also going to use some lemons for the recipe, but before we do any of that, we're going to head into the garden. It is raining a little bit, but we'll go out anyway to get some stinging nettles and some lemon balm. So this is literally my stinging nettle forest at the moment. I love this area. It's kind of over the winter become a massive stinging nettle patch, and I'm coming out here every day cutting stinging nettles for teas and to use almost like spinach in my food, and I just throw a few nettle leaves in. So I do love this area. Now my husband always goes, "Can we cut the stinging nettles in the garden, please?" But they're actually really nutritious. Look at those, amazing. So we're going to use the leaves, and I'm going to get some lemon balm as well. Lemon balm it grows like a weed, literally. I absolutely love it because I love the smell of it. I love how abundantly it grows, and you don't have to do anything with it. And again, you can use it like you would spinach. You can make tea from it. You can dry it. So I'm just going to go right to the bottom, to above the first couple of leaves coming out, and it'll grow back from there. And we're just going to, oh, I love that smell. Oh, if you want, here's some dead nettle as well. So you can always have a look in your garden, see what weeds are growing there, and just chuck things in. Most things are edible. If you need to find out whether they are or not, go on an identifier app and just Google, is it edible or not? Mother Nature literally is abundant. It's just us as humans who have forgotten that we can eat all these things that grow around us, that we throw away as weeds in our garden, when actually we could be using them instead of all those vegetables we buy at the supermarket. I saw this Instagram reel yesterday, the nutrient value of spinach against ground elder, and ground elder basically it was through the roof how much more it gives your body. And we're going to start off, we need the skin of the lemon, so I'm just going to use the Thermomix. If you haven't got a Thermomix, you might want to use the sort of finest setting on your cheese grater and just grate the skin off. So I'm using the Thermomix to chop up the stinging nettle and the lemon balm. So we're going to put the lemon skin in there with it, and it will chop that up at the same time. You want to make sure you just get the yellow part and not the white, because the white is quite bitter. So the bitter is actually healthy, but in a cake, you want it to taste good. So you're going to try and just get the lemon oils that are in the skin. I use stinging nettle all the time, so I've become used to I just pick them with my hands, but obviously do use gloves if you're still sensitive to the stingers. I just touch them like that, and I usually I just tell the plant, "You're going to go into a lemon cake. Thank you very much for letting me pick you."
They say the sting is good for you as well.
And the sting, is good for your circulation and everything. So, and when I do find, I don't know, there's probably something in our consciousness more than the plant consciousness, but to me as a shamanic practitioner, I believe everything has consciousness. So to me, if I'm asking permission for the plant to be picked, I do feel like they sting less.
I actually agree. From my experiments.
And it might just be a more conscious, firm grip that you have, that I think the stingers actually, when they brush against you while you're not prepared for it, while you're not conscious of it, that's when you feel the sting, when you actually have quite a firm grip with your hands. It's almost like you're folding the stingers in while you're touching it. So next we've got the lemon balm leaves, and we're going to do the same thing. Just take the leaves off. And the lemon balm is really going to give it that an amazing sort of lemony flavour. They're really going to work well together. We'll stick in our dead nettles just because we've picked them, and we wouldn't want to pick something we don't use. They will be honoured by going into our cake. I've got the Thermomix that's going to chop it. Again, if you haven't got if you have a normal kitchen machine, just use it and chop stuff. If you don't, just use a knife and a board and just chop it and enjoy the process of that and the stillness that comes with it. You go in there now, you can see how it's all just nicely chopped. Then going to have 120 grams of butter. So again, obviously measure out whatever you have available. The Thermomix has got the scales built into it. 100 grams of agave nectar, or use coconut sugar, maple syrup, whatever you have available. 2 eggs. Again, I've got sort of Riverfit organic eggs, different sizes, happy hens. Be aware that whatever you use and the consciousness of how it was produced is going to end up as an energy in your body. So if you make the right choices in the buying process, you will have the right energy in your body as you're living your life. So I collect my eggshells, let them dry, and then put them through the Thermomix when I've got quite a few of them, and they go back into my garden as calcium. And sometimes my orchids actually get a teaspoon of milled eggshells as well. So you can use your eggshells as fertilizer in the garden and nothing goes to waste. 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, teaspoon of lemon juice. So we're going to take the lemon with that we've used the peel off. Just going to take the juice. So that's about half a lemon now, the juice of half a lemon. I'm going to give that a quick whiz through before we put the flour in. So, you might want to melt your butter to be able to mix it properly, or you might have a handheld mixer and you just mix them all together. So we're going to use the Thermomix. Oh, look at this. I love the green. Okay, and now the recipe is going to say 120 grams of flour of your choice, or 50 grams of spelt, 50 grams of ground almonds, 50 grams of buckwheat. So when we are using not normal flour, but nuts, ground nuts or something like that, I tend to use a tiny little bit more. So if you're using just a basic normal flour, like let's say you're using spelt flour for the whole cake, you would use 120 grams of that. If you're mixing in things that like buckwheat flour, which we're going to do, or ground almonds, use a little bit more and do 150 grams, just because they're not as bulky and as sort of combining as normal flour would be, because you're not going to get the gluten in it. So I'm going to use 50 grams of spelt flour. Ended up with 64, but yeah, use 50. And yours, and then we're going to top it up with buckwheat flour. So I use Dove's Farm organic, which you get in pretty much all supermarkets. So we want to get that up to, oh, that was way too much, 150. 150, and it wants a little bit of high carb baking powder. I'll do top of a tablespoon. And then that's it. That's our cake batter done, and all it needs to do is be baked. And I'm just going to use the spatula to get the flour from the sides down into the mixture. And that is how quick and easy it is to bake your own cake rather than getting a cake that's full of processed stuff, at the supermarket. So that is going to go into a tin. So you've got your cake tin. I tend to just take a little bit of butter, put that around so it's easy to get the cake out afterwards. If you want, you can add some breadcrumbs or something to it. It'll just make the taking it out of the tin afterwards a bit easier. Definitely tastes stinging nettly. Love it. Let me see what I've got. If you do have some pine nuts or some almond flakes, you can add them on the top and just press them in a bit. And that just goes into the oven for about 55 minutes on 160. If you've used standard normal flour, it's probably okay to put it onto 180 for 25-30 minutes. Because we've used buckwheat flour and it doesn't bind as well, or if you use ground almonds, coconut flour, soya flour, anything like that, you're better off putting it on a lower heat, like 160, and leaving it to bake a bit longer. So we're going to leave this in for about 50 minutes. Right, so here is our cake out of the oven. I'm just going to... Ooh.
It smells amazing.
It does smell amazing. Ta-da! I love the green cake.
I wish you guys could smell this right now.
Right, are we going to have a taste?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
Right, what time training do you think?
6?
I could drop you a 6.
Yeah? Oh my God. Oh, this is so good. So, if you're used to supermarket cakes and you start baking your own and you're using things like agave and maple, just be aware that they probably seem a lot less sweet to you than a normal cake would. I love it that way, but it will be a little shift. It will, after a few cakes, homemade cakes with less sugar, you will not want the sweet supermarket ones anymore. Oh my God, this is so good. Hi guys, if you haven't already bought my book, please go on Amazon or by Boa Press Bookstore in America and get yourself a copy From End Award to Inner Peace, my healing journey from stage 4 endometriosis, everything that I did to heal myself that has helped me on this journey to heal stage 4 within 18 months is in this book, including all the daily routines, all the tools that I use that have helped me. So do get it. If you're suffering from endometriosis, then this is your first step on your own healing journey. If you've got another chronic illness and you just want hope that healing is possible, read it, recommend it to friends. Let's spread the message that healing is possible.